Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 14. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we see the ladies in the montage. Toya is embarrassing her son by his braiding hair. Please leave his canacolon alone. Why are you telling people he got a little hair added? Huh, Toya? Why are you telling people that? We see Sweet Tea at home making tea for her and Dr. G. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Dame and Daddy, they're at home trying to get a hold of Alora. Honey, she called Alora. Hello? I ain't got time to talk now, baby. I'm busy. Hung right on up in her face. And, you know, she been running them since she was born. Okay, since we met them, Alora has been in charge of the girls. Moving forward. In the next scene, we see Dr. Simone. She goes to Dr. Jackie's office so they can eat their Cheesecake Factory salads dry, like they like to do. Okay, not a dressing in sight. So Dr. Jackie brings up Phaedra. She's telling Dr. Simone that Phaedra went ahead and paid her $40,000. They finalized the Med Gala. So all the money is accounted for. They have the $100K. Okay, that's good. And don't y'all ever do this again. Okay, please, next time you do something, stick to whatever goal that you set for yourself. Because when y'all go and start spitting out these astronomical numbers, it just doesn't work. So just stick with the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Shout out to TLC. So she's telling her that Phaedra said that she ain't coming around them no more because of that little stunt that Heavenly pulled with Apollo. So Dr. Jackie says she asked her if her and Heavenly had agreed for Apollo to come. So then Dr. Simone talking about, well, why was it too much when she invited him to come alone, to New York? Operative word, him alone. And she can invite him wherever she wants to invite him. They used to be married. That don't mean y'all can take the liberty of orchestrating trips overnight with this man and his wife, the woman who he cheated on his pregnant wife with. What are y'all not getting? Y'all be overstepping your boundaries. That's the problem. She shouldn't have said yes. Don't get me wrong. But I think she said yes simply to save face. But she really didn't expect Apollo to accept the invitation and show up. And y'all do too much. Okay? Let's call Tammy, or let's call Curtis's airport bay and sit up here next to y'all and see how y'all feel about it. It's uncomfortable, point blank, and the period. And it wasn't even the right intention to which it was done. It's not like you invited him because he had a purpose there. You invited him for mess and for ratings. What don't y'all get? So Dr. Jackie said, well, Phaedra told me when Apollo sees her with other men, then he gets mad. Now, Dr. Simone did have a point right here when she said, well, if that's the case, then why does she invite Check? Now, I agree with that, but I don't agree when she says that Phaedra is partly to blame. I feel like it was a setup from the start. And to be honest, both Apollo and Phaedra were trying to get underneath each other's skin. She didn't know if he was going to bring Shireen, but just in case, she brought Check. Then she lied and said that she didn't know that the two of them were cool or whatever the lie was. Hell, there's so much confusion on this season of Married to Medicine. I'm starting to lose my train of thought. I'm so sick of them. I cannot wait until this season is over. And I have never, when I say never, not one season have I ever said I cannot wait for them to go. Between the constant post all over social media to Heavenly on every blog post talking negatively about anybody and everybody, I am over it. I am over it. I mean, they're really getting under my skin. Basically, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Dr. Heavenly didn't think that this was going to backfire on her. Phaedra didn't think it was going to backfire on her by bringing Check. Apollo, you going to get checked, you and Shireen, because why would you bring that woman here? You came to New York solo dolo. So why would you bring Shireen with you? Say what now? Oh, okay. Moving forward. So then Dr. Jackie says, well, Phaedra was just surface level with us. That's what she said in the confessional. And when things got hot, she left. And we hold people to the truth. And the truth is, maybe she never was here for a good reason. Do y'all hold people to the truth? Dr. Simone tried to hold you to the truth about what you said about Buffy's fertility in front of a group of strangers, and you stopped being friends with her. Nobody held Quad to the truth in her part as far as that game is concerned on that damn trip. We have yet to acknowledge that Quad played a part in all of this mess. Dr. Simone, when we tried holding you to the truth about bringing up that inappropriate example at the reunion, you had a fit and you refused to apologize until you were ready. Y'all never hold Dr. Heavenly to the truth. Let's be very for real. Y'all let her run amok. As for Dr. Contessa, she's never held to the truth because she's always jumping in somebody's face ready to fight. Don't get me wrong, I like Dr. Contessa, but it is what it is. Example, Dr. Heavenly and Toya. When they were at Anila's event, she tried to jump on Toya. When y'all were down at the Dude Ranch, she tried to jump on Heavenly. Nobody speaks on that. Let me guess. I guess y'all only hold certain people to the truth. Girl gone. And I ain't even a Phaedra fan. But we not finna sit here and act like y'all are just some pillars of truth, because that would be a lie. So then Dr. Simone said, well, I sent her a message because I'm still trying to process everything. It's just so much. And I just want to know how the group can move forward. And how are we going to do that if the charges are against King and he can't come around? Stop asking how the group can move forward because y'all don't care. You take one step forward and 20 steps back. What does Heavenly always say in that closet? I'ma say it and I'ma take it back. That's exactly what y'all do. Y'all claim y'all gonna do right and then y'all take it right back. So then they replayed this god awful song that Dr. G created because Dr. Simone brought up the fact that Cecil had a recording of this song because Dr. G said he wanted to get his comedic timing on. Let me tell you something. I need to press charges against him and Bravo for that song and being subjected to that song. I'm about to sue all y'all. I am sick of this. This is emotional distress. Oh my gosh. In the next scene, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contessa, they go and have a sit down. It's about damn time. It's about time y'all go sit down because this little feud is really getting old. So I'm glad y'all went somewhere and sat down, but it ain't gonna change nothing. So they talk about their issues. Heavenly wants Dr. Contessa to admit she did wrong as well. Dr. Contessa was like, well, I'm just mad that you called my husband abusive. I called him volatile. Tomato, tomato. Okay. I mean, what do you want us to say, ma'am? Heavenly, let me say this. You know how to get on my nerves. You really do. But that season, Dr. Contessa, Dr. Scott presented himself in a not so good light. And the way that you acted on that trip, it very much aligned with what was said in Heavenly's closet on that YouTube. She was asked a question and she answered it. Now, all of us were concerned for you that season. I remember that season very well. I think people on these shows think if they go away for a little while, we'll forget. No, the North never forgets, honey. We remember. And I can see how you wouldn't want your girlfriend talking about your business, but you talked about it. You told us. You showed us. The scene that sticks out in my mind is when they went to go and check on you and you and Scott had gone back to the room. You looked so visibly shaken. It was Dr. Heavenly and Quad. They went in to check on you. Girl, that was not normal. So, I mean, love or hate Heavenly, it is what it is. Anywho, they agreed to disagree, so let's just move on. Moving forward. Now, really, if it were me, I would need to hear some apologies. But I guess this is Bravo and this is not real life. So let's just act like it never happened, I guess. Now that that's over, Dr. Contessa brings up a diabetes awareness event that she wants to have. And she wants to invite everyone. Now, of course, Heavenly is like, no, not at the medical event. Girl, please. You cannot keep that lady off this show. Whoever cannot behave like an adult and act accordingly should not show up. Point blank in the period. If you can't get yourself together, you should not be in attendance. You just don't want Sweet Tea around. Let's just be for real. And Dr. G, you just don't want King around. Everybody needs to grow up. And Quad, you need to take accountability for your part. And Contessa, I didn't hear no apologies, but it's probably for the best because we all know that Heavenly gonna say it and she gonna take it back. In the next scene, Toya and Eugene are at home. Well, Dr. Eugene. Dr. Eugene's toe is broken because Toya and her boys were giving irresponsibility. And Toya wants him to practice the waltz. Toya, please. The man's foot is split wide open. let me tell you something. If Toya is putting on an event, she don't give a damn what's wrong with you. You better show up, act like you got some sense, and enjoy. So she's telling Dr. Eugene that she talked to Sweet Tea and basically told her that she needs to go and talk to Dr. G so they can do better. So Dr. Eugene told her that Dr. G and Sweet Tea, they may feel abandoned by the group. He feels like they need to take a beat. And Toya is like, no, they need to man up and come around. They'll be fine. She was like, don't run unless you're never coming back. Toya, let me say this. You cannot dictate how someone feels. You were all Team Letitia last season until you and Quad got back cool. Y'all so wishy-washy. Now all of a sudden, oh, if you gonna run, then don't come back. Y'all, you use that girl. You use that girl to do your dirty work. And now that you saw, and all of y'all, now that you all have seen that the viewers weren't on your side last season, now it's let's get rid of Sweet Tea. Y'all are playing a game of Survivor. This is crazy. In the next scene, King and his queen Quad are at the house and they're having a date. So they go out to the hot tub and they're sitting out there and Quad is trying to butter him up. He's like, what you want? I know you must want something because what's going on? She wants to know if he wants to move in together and what it looks like for them. Now, King doesn't want to move into her house. And I can see both sides. I mean, he wants to have input and not be susceptible to being put out. Because, child, you know how people get. And she doesn't want to be put in a position where he can hang things over her head. Listen to me. I told y'all, if I ever get in another serious relationship, we will be living separately. That is my new normal. But that's just me. But, you know, in the real world, he wants them to buy a place together. Now, I don't see anything wrong with it if both of your names are going to be on the deed. If y'all plan on getting married and having kids, buying something together makes more sense. I know you don't want to let go of this house because this was your first sign of independence post-marriage. And it's like, look what I accomplished. Look what I did. But if you have someone you want to build a future with, no man, no real man that want anything for themselves or you is going to want to just come into your home and move in and just start playing house. Y'all going to build something together. In the next scene, Dr. Simone and Cecil go over to their son's condo. Now, baby, she knocking on the door. Knock, 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 knocking on the door. They just sitting there. When I say they would piss me off, do not have me standing at the damn door just banging and you can clearly hear me and you are continuing with your conversation. That is the quickest way to piss me off. So Dr. Simone is coming over like she's checking on their bedrooms to see if they're clean. They don't still live at home, honey. They're nasty. These men are grown and nasty. If it gets nasty enough, they'll clean it up. It's too late to teach them basics. You should have taught them the basics at 10 years old. Why are you just now starting to teach them how to clean up after themselves? And you are really doing a disservice to whatever woman gets them because they're going to expect the woman to cook clean and don't smell like onion rings and they smell like Fritos and ain't cleaned up in a week. Like, no. So she told them, y'all gonna have to move back home if y'all don't get it together. Ma'am, that's not going to teach them nothing either. They need to fend for themselves. They want them to help pay some bills. So they have to turn in their checks and they have to split, I think it was $2,103. They have to split $2,103 down the middle. How did they get so lazy and entitled though? It's ridiculous. These young men need a dose of reality. And I don't think what y'all are doing is working. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to tell y'all how to parent. But at this big grown age, both of them are just lazy. And that place gotta stink. Because it looks disgusting. And then you start getting rodents and flies. And if they don't clean that place up. In the next scene, it's the day of Contessa's diabetes event. Now, when I say I love when they do health related fairs, I love it. The reason why I really am interested in hearing what this event is all about is because when I went to the doctor just recently, they told me that I was pre-diabetic. So I'm excited to hear the information that's going to be given. But of course, it's always going to be some mess. And she was saying that it's basically a health fair with all different types of medical professionals there. You can sign up for a primary care doctor. The Kidney Foundation is also going to be there. There's going to be dental services as well as mental health services. I wish I could have gone to this. This is so needed in our community. A lot of us do not like to take care of ourselves. We just think we're going to be young forever. It doesn't apply to us. But what people need to understand is that now people are dying younger and younger. Get your checkups, get your mammograms, go get your colon cancer screenings. Please do what you need to do. It is very important. It is imperative for your health. It really is. I know I kiki and whatever, but baby, I'm going to make a doctor's appointment. Baby, I'm going to go get checked. Okay. And I started early. They not going to give me a time. You know, they tell you, you wait till you're 40 or wait till you're this. Nah, baby. As soon as the spirit moves me, I went to go do it. And I just wish that I could have gone to this. It seems like a very good event. Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly, they're on their way there, riding there in the car. They're talking. And she's telling Dr. Damon that King isn't allowed to come. So, of course, he doesn't know why, because he feels like they're alienating King. And he said that King is a very calm person. And I feel like that's crazy because nothing even happened. They're men. They should be able to talk this out. This is exactly what Dr. G wanted. This is exactly what he wanted. So all the doctors and Quad, they arrive. Hey, girl. Baby, Quad is in costume and everything. Girl, why do you have on these scrubs? It's a mess. So Dr. Contessa is telling the people that are in attendance how her family was affected by diabetes and how they need access to medical care. And as she was talking, I was just like, I wonder if Dr. Contessa does virtual visits, because I'm so serious. I really need an A1 Black physician. I don't know of any here in Houston, and I really would like to have a primary care doctor who looks like me, who understands my concerns, and who's empathetic. And I feel like despite whatever character Dr. Contessa plays on this show, she embodies those things. And plus, I get so excited when they get to talking that medical talk, honey, and giving us a medical minute. Y'all know that's what I live for. I really wish that dental care, though, because they were talking about the dental care and whatnot. I wish that that was more affordable for us because it's so high. It's crazy. And for lower income families, it's hard to keep up with the visits. Unless you have a child or yourself or whoever is on Medicaid or Medicare or what, those visits for dental work, those numbers are crazy. Like they legit have, what is it? Is it care credit? They have care credit and they have payment plans for your teeth. But listen, I know a lot of people neglect their dental health. That's another thing that's tied to your actual health. You can die, okay, from having an abscess or having, an infection in your tooth. It gets into your bloodstream and it could literally unalive you. So make sure that you're getting your dental checkups as well as all your other whatnots. Moving forward. Now, all this is going on and Toya isn't there yet. Her or Dr. Eugene. Quad talking about, well, I'm not going to be around the Lunsfords. Ma'am, please. Please, talking about the Lunsfords. So Contessa comes over to tell Quad that some empathy needs to be given to Dr. G and Sweet T. And although they chose her, they can also choose T. Now, Contessa is saying it's not fair to mistreat T and she shouldn't be penalized for who she's married to. Now, Quad is like, girl, what are you doing? I feel like you're riding the fence because just at my house, you were saying that it wasn't my fault and that you were on my side. Now, when they showed that clip, Dr. Contessa, you did say that. You did say none of this is your fault. But here you're saying, let's show them some grace. Heavenly gonna say, well, we can't show them no grace when it comes to a charge, when there's a charge in place. Heavenly, you cannot be piping up, honey, because you want to keep that lady off the show. That's what this is about. Let's just keep it real. They don't care about King having charges pressed against him. Well, Heavenly doesn't, allegedly. I think that this is the perfect storm. They can keep Dr. G and Sweet T away from here because now he has gone and pressed charges. And I knew that truce between Heavenly and Dr. Contessa wasn't going to last long. Maybe Dr. Contessa should have spoken to Quad outside of this because this is not going well. Dr. Contessa is telling Dr. Heavenly that, she's being negative. She's like, you need to be quiet. You being negative. Heavenly getting loud. People are looking. Heavenly, calm down. And Dr. Mimi is like, we're supposed to be doing this for the community, but here we are doing the same old two-step, getting loud, showing out. Girl, that's what they do. So Dr. Contessa is telling Quad that King is welcome around wherever she is. Then she tells Heavenly, girl, your heart is showing. You can go. You can go. Okay. Outside, Dr. Scott is telling Curtis that Dr. G is coming, probably the last hour of the event. He told them about the charges that can be brought against King, which is like the 90 days in jail and this and that. Now, I'm sorry. Dr. G is taking it too far. To me, to try to get a black man time in jail, that is insane. That is insane. And like Dr. Scott said, Quad and Dr. G don't need to speak to each other, period. They really do not. I feel like it was taken too far. A lot was said, a lot was done, and an intervention needs to be had on none of y'all coming back. So you better figure it out. And it's very weird to me for him to press charges when nothing was even done to him. There was no reason that it should have gone this far. Hell, if that's the case, then Dr. Heavenly should have pressed charges against Dr. Contessa. So then Letitia and Dr. G finally arrive. Inside, Dr. Contessa is telling Quad, listen, I will make sure that the two of you do not cross paths. And Quad is like, yeah, because if they come in here, I'm finna leave. So they entered and she exited. Heavenly screaming, yeah, you need to get some help, Contessa. Get some help, honey. Ma'am, this is a medical mission. Please have some tact. I understand that emotions are high, but people can have a difference of opinion. Everybody doesn't have to agree. Just because you want something a certain way doesn't mean that everybody has to look at it from your point of view. They don't. And also, I'm trying to figure out, Dr. Mimi, have you abandoned Sweet Tea? Because, baby, you showed and integrated yourself right on into the circle. So Dr. Heavenly wants to leave now that they've come because she's like, I'm going to leave. And plus we had this little blow up. It's time for me to exit. Y'all should have never started this messy stuff. Now it's hard to fix this. Y'all mixed all these people together and you shouldn't have done that. And now it's a big old mess. I'm so confused. I don't even know what's up and what's down. I really don't. Like, I understand what Dr. Contessa is saying by saying, you know what? They should be allowed to come around the group. And then I also understand what Quad is saying when she says, well, why my man can't come around the group? Because this man wouldn't press charges when it wasn't even that serious. So for me, it's just, it's just all a mess, y'all. It really is. So Dr. Mimi is wanting to know if Sweet Tea can operate in the group without any of the mess. Meanwhile, the men are outside. They're on the steps talking. Steve is asking Dr. G if that disagreement made him press charges and if he's willing to drop them. He is not, because he wants to hurt Quad. That's point blank in the period. Everybody on here wants to get back at somebody. So Dr. G is making it seem like it's one-sided. Sir, it was your mouth that wrote a check that your behind couldn't cash. Sometimes you got to shut up. Everything does not warrant a response. So they're trying to talk to Sweet Tea inside and tell her that they don't want to have to choose. But then Dr. Contessa was like, well, if she's not going to fight to stay in the group, then I'm not going to fight for her to stay in the group. What do y'all want her to do? Because then if she does start piping up and fighting to stay in the group, y'all going to have a problem with that. Outside, Dr. G is telling the men, it's not easy to be in this group. You didn't have to be in this group. Why did you come back? I'm sorry. Dr. G is being childish. And from the looks of it, it seems like one or all of y'all won't be getting a contract next season. So y'all need to figure it out. I feel like this could be a conversation between King and Dr. G. Quad doesn't need to enter the chat, and neither does Sweet Tea. Then after that is settled and y'all can realize that the two of you don't need to speak, he doesn't need to be speaking all crazy to women. He needs to keep that same energy when he's speaking to anybody else in the group. And then Sweet Tea, you and Quad can have a sit down. This is just crazy. In the real world, baby, ain't no way I would be around my ex-husband. He doesn't even exist in my world. Child, please. I wish I would. And that was the end of the episode. Listen, I feel like this is such a big mess. I don't know where they go from here. I really don't. I don't know. It's all a big mess. All I know is I hope y'all check out the Real Housewives of Atlanta review that I did, because the heifers are back. Y'all comment down below and I'm going to comment back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.